Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me again, Sir Jayvee, at welcome po sa Hugot Sipnayan. And this time we're going to discuss about another topic in grade 10 mathematics, which is sequence and series. So last video natin, binigyan pansin kayo sa ating tawag nating mga patterns. So ngayon, maggagawa na tayo guys ng sequence and series gamit yung mga pattern na yon. At this time, we're going to formulate at least 5 terms in a given sequence. So ulitin ko, ito yung part po ng grade 10, MELC based pa rin po, first quarter. Let's have our video. So guys, if we're talking about sequence and pattern and also series, we're going to talk about a rule. Now, para maging sequence, ang isang sequence, kailangan daw may rules. Which a way to find out the value of each term. Ito daw yung, if we're talking about number sequence, na usually na ito may pag-uusapan natin in this video, which is series and sequence. Kapag number sequence ang pinag-uusapan natin or number series, we're talking about a rule. Ang rule lang magbibigay sa atin ng value noong mga terms na gagamitin natin. We can call general nth term for the sequence a n. So a sub n. Ibig sabihin guys, yung n, yung placement value, not placement value, siya yung parang magiging position noong given term natin doon sa ating sequence. So the rule will be the continuous process on how we're going to find the nth term. So usually guys, if we're talking about the terms in a sequence, we're just going to remember to follow PEMDAS. Simple lang guys, if we're going to provide a rule o yung mismong equation na gagamitin natin para makuha yung mga terms doon sa ating sequence, PEMDAS ang gagamitin natin. It's short for parentheses or the grouping symbol. GEMDAS to minsan eh. We have E exponent, M is for multiplication, D for division, A for addition, and S for subtraction. So after you guys, we're going to simplify our answer. If we're talking about fraction, isi-simplify po natin yun at laging dapat simplified form. Now, let's try to have some example para mas maintindihan natin. Now, we're going to look for the first 3 terms noong sequence given the following rules below. So, rules guys ay pwedeng maging equation na makapag-produce ng ating terms doon sa ating sequence. Example, A sub n, yung n guys, yung value o yung place noong ating gagamitin term. Okay? So, 3n plus 1. So, since we're looking for the first 3 term, we're going to denote n as 1, 2, at saka 3. So, n will be the first term, it could be the second term, or the third term. So, we're talking about their ordinal. So, ordinal guys, pwede siya maging first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, so on and so forth. Okay? Kung ano yung kanyang placement doon sa ordinal number, yun yung gagamitin natin n. For example, siya po ay 10th. Ibig sabihin, siya po ay pang 10. Ibig sabihin, ang n natin ay 10. Kung siya po ay 11th, ang n natin ay 11. Ibig sabihin, siya po ay pang 11. Kung ito po ay pang 100, o 100 with th sa dulo, ibig sabihin, ito po ay pang 100. So, we're talking about their ordinal doon sa ating given item. So, since we're talking about the first 3 term, uunin natin guys sa n ay 1, 2, at saka 3. So, we're talking about the first, the second, and the third. Anong gagawin? Kung meron tayong given na equation na 3n plus 2, we're just going to substitute the given n to the given equation, then after that, isosolve natin. Example, if n equals to 1, so definitely yung a, may isang a sub 1. Okay, ibig sabihin, we're looking for the first term. Ito. So that will be 3 times 1 plus 2. 3 times 1 is definitely 3. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. Ibig sabihin, ang first term natin ay 5. Okay? Now, let's look for the second term. So, same thing. 3 times 2, 6 plus 2, 8. Napakasimple nun guys ha. So, ibig sabihin, we substitute them and after that we solve. Another thing. So, for the third term, 3 times 3, 9 plus 2. That will become 11. Okay? 3 times 3, 9 plus 2, 11. So, the first three term is 5, 8 at saka po 11. Now, if we're going to continue with that item guys, kung sabi niyo, gusto natin magpatuloy na ganyan ang gagawin natin. So, on definitely guys, ang gagawin niyo po dyan ay uulitin niyo lang po. Okay? Pag inulit niyo siya, sa 4th, sa 5th at 6th, ganun din pong gagawin nyo. Substitute si 4, substitute si 5, substitute si 6. Okay? So that will be our first 3 terms ng ating sequence. We have 5, 8, and 11 for our example number 1. Now let's continue with example number 2. Kung example number 2 naman guys, ang ating given equation ay 5 minus 4n. This time, nauna guys ay ginawa natin ay multiplication and addition. Ito naman guys ay multiplication tapos subtraction. So, ibig sabihin, if we're going to solve them, 5 minus 4 times 1, di unahin natin to. 4 times 1 is 4, 5 minus 1 is 1. So, the same thing will follow sa 2. 4 times 2 is negative 8. Naging minus 8 na lang to since 8 pala yun. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. So, 4 times 3 is 12. So, 5 minus 12 is negative 7. So, 1, negative 3, negative 7. Okay? So, medyo na kung nabibilisan kayo guys, finalo ko lang dito guys yung PEMDAS. So, una po ang multiplication bago ang subtraction. Okay? So, since we're doing the same thing doon sa latter part, ganun din po yung gagawin natin. So, paulit-ulit lang yung process hanggang makuha natin yung first term, second term, at third term. Ulitin ko kaya po 1 yung ginamit doon sa una kasi po siya yung first term. Kaya po 2 yung ginamit doon sa second kasi po second term siya. Kaya po 3 kasi po siya ay third term. Kung 4th yan, ay 4th. Kung 5th ay 5. Kung 6 ay 6th. Pang-anin ng value niya. Okay? So, ganun po yung ginawa natin on the first 3 terms. So let's continue with our another example, for example number 3. So we're going to do the same. We're going to look for the first 3 term of a given rule. This time, we're going to look for 6 a sub n, so may equal sign to, na medyo nawala lang. Negative 6 plus 2 quantity n minus 1. So medyo komplikado to guys. If we're going to solve this item, so we're going to use 1, 2, and 3. So same thing. So negative 6 plus, so unahin natin guys yung nasa parenthesis, di ba? So sa PEMDAS or GEMDAS, una yung nasa parenthesis. So it will become 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. We have negative 6 as the remaining number. So, same thing, negative 6 plus 2 times 1, kasi po, yung po ay 2 minus 1, kaya po naging 1. O, tandaan nyo ha guys, n po yun ha, pinalitan lamang natin yung 2. Yun po ay n, pinalitan po natin ng 1. Baka magkakalituhan na naman tayo ha. So, that will become 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 4. So 1 times 2 is 2. Rather, nalito na rin ako ha. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. So, same thing is done with that item. So, next naman is n goes to 3. We replace n as 3. That will become 3 minus 1. And that will become 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. And the first 3 terms, negative 6, negative 4, and negative 2. What we have done here is just we replace n by 1, 2, at 3 for the first, second, and third term. And after that, we solve and simplify. Now let's continue with example number 4. Okay, now we're going to talk about fraction here. So, n all over n plus 4. So, pansin nyo, dalawa po yung n natin, kaya dalawa din yung papalitan natin. And let's continue with the solution. So, n equals to 1. That will become a 1. So, 1 over 1 plus 4. And that will become 1 over 5. So we continue with that one, 2 over 2 plus 4. That will become NN. O 2 over 6, getting its lowest term. So that will become 1/3. So if we're dealing with fraction, kailangan guys laging may lowest term. Now, same thing will be done here. So n all over n plus 4, that will become 3 all over 3 plus 4. That will become 3 over 3 plus 4 or 3 over 7 for a sub 3. So definitely our first, second, and third is 1 over 5 or 1/5, 1 over 3 or 1/3, 3 over 7, o 3 over 7. Okay? So, hindi ka lang tamang basa ko. So, yun po yung ginagawa ko diyan. And that is example number 4. So, napakasimple guys sa ginagawa ha. We just follow the given rule, replace n by 1, 2, 3 to get the first, the second, and the third term. So, hindi pa sapat yung example. Let's continue with example number 5. And this time, we're going to deal with exponent. So, a sub n equals to 2 raised to n plus 1. This time, n is an exponent. So, definitely, so 2 raised to 1 plus 1 will become 2 plus 1 kasi 2 plus 1, that's 2 times, di ba? Matik yan. Remain dyan, di ba? 2 plus 1 equals 3. So, 2 raised to 2 is 4 plus 1, that's 5. 2 raised to 3, that will become 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, that will become 8 plus 1, and that will become 9. Now, if we're talking about that item, that will become 3, 5, and 9 for the first, second, and the third term. So, same thing will happen with this first 3 term. In-apply lang natin yung ordinal niya, which is the first, the second, and the third, that will become 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And that is example number 5. So guys, napakasimple ng pag-solve guys ng rules nito, especially if we're talking about series and sequence. So simple lang, isubstitute mo lamang guys yung n as 1, 2, and 3, and definitely meron ka ng first term, second term, and third term. Just be careful with your computation para hindi ka magkamali. Okay? So guys, para malaman natin whether understand our discussion about this item, we will have this 5-item quiz. At sana po ay nag-gets nyo kung paano isolve to at paano makuha yung first 3 term natin. So, timer start now. This is good for 5 minutes, guys. Okay guys, time's up. Let us try to check your work. So if we're going to check your work here, this will be the answer. Yan. Masyadong, hindi ko na sila sinolve, pero try natin i-check ang sagot ninyo. So 1 daw ay 6, 10, 14, 18, and 22. Yun naman ay 4 times 1. 5 term pala. 5 term bang ginawa ninyo guys? Sana 5 term ang ginawa nyo. Okay. Kung 3 term lang, okay lang. So that will become 6, 10, and 14. So if we continue with the remaining item, that will become 18 and 22. So that will become 1, 2, 3, 4, at saka 5. Okay. Now, if we're continue with this one, 2 times 1, that is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. So that's why we have number 2. For number 3 naman, 5 times 1, 5 minus 3 is 2. So we have 7, 12, 17, and 22. At sa number 4 naman ay cube. Ang 1 cube po ay 1, ang 2 cube po ay 8, ang 3 cube po ay 27, 64 for 4, and 5 is 127. At ganun po natin gagawin yung item na yon. And if we're going to talk about the remaining item here, so we have 1 minus 1 is all over 1 plus 1, that becomes 0 over 2, that becomes 0. So 2 minus 1 equals to 2 plus 3, that will become 3 and 1. So the other one's 1 half, 3 fifth, and 2 third. So yung 1 half at saka 2 third, siguradong galing yan sa lowest third. So guys, I hope you understand those item at sana po tumama po kayo. At guys, ito yung pagkuha ng first 5 term in a given sequence. At sana po naintindihan nyo yung discussion natin about this item. So, next topic guys, we're going to discuss the different types of series and sequence. At sana po ay continue supporting this channel. This is Hugot Sipnayan and I'm Sir Jayvee, and maraming salamat po sa pagbisita sa aking channel. Ingat po and God bless.